Om Sadashivasamaramбхам Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So last time we saw the brief introduction into the Gita. Now before I get into all the verses etc., I want to handle certain myths that's going around in the name of the Gita. They are not true. The first thing you will find is people saying, oh, whenever I face a problem, I look into the Gita and get a solution. Maybe we can. But the Gita is not meant for that. Gita is not a problem solving tool. The Gita is much more. Yeah. In fact, in one of my classes I demonstrated that. Maybe next time I'll get a newspaper and I'll demonstrate how you ask me a question and I'll find an answer for you in that newspaper. Because some statement you will interpret it in a way that you will solve your problem. That statement there, though may be made in any context, okay, you found in that some insight and solve your problem. That can happen with the Gita even more so. But it is not a problem solving tool. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. Number two, I've seen some teachers also talking like this. What is the first word in the Gita? Dharma kshetra. Last is mama. Iti me nishchit mama. Therefore, the Gita is talking about mama dharma, my dharma. If Gita was talking only of dharma, Gita mentioned some things about dharma, true. But if the Gita was talking only of dharma, we'd be studying it along with the Manusmriti, Parashara Smriti, etc., not along with the Upanishads. Dharma is not the goal of the Gita. The goal of the Gita is moksha. What it is, I will talk about. Before we get into the main teaching of the Gita in the first chapter itself, this will be clear. That dharma is not the goal, moksha is the goal. Okay. These are some of the myths going around. Another myth is, Gita talks about karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, hatha yoga. For the intellectual jnana yoga, for the emotional bhakti yoga, for the active karma yoga, and one who is not good for any of these things, hatha yoga. Another nonsense. Gita does not talk about 4 yogas. Yes, Gita talks about jnanam, Gita talks about karma yoga, Gita talks about sannyasa, Gita talks about bhakti, but it doesn't divide it into 4 paths. See how foolish it is. This guy is all head. All the time he is thinking. Are you going to give him jnana yoga and make him more of a thinker, or give him some bhakti to balance out his personality? Which is more logical? Balance him out. Now he is all head. Heart is empty. Balance it out. This guy is all heart. Balance him out. Give him something here. Stimulate his thinking. Correct? Karma yoga is already active, running around, doing too many things. Slow him down, give him some hatha yoga. The guy is sitting down doing nothing. Come on, wake him up, go, make him run around, do something. Karma yoga. Should be the other way around, isn't it? The division, if it is there, is wrong the way it is presented. And let me tell you, the division is not there in the Gita. It's just not there. Yes, topics of jnanam, bhakti, etc. is there. That's a different thing. But this 4-fold path, that stuff is not there at all. If you heard about it, I'm sorry, you heard wrong. And I will prove whatever I say in the whole when I'm explaining the Gita. Every word that I say today will be proved. That is one thing. Then, oh, yes, Gita talks about sattvic food, rajasic food, etc. Onion and garlic, etc. are supposed to be rajasic. Sorry, Gita does not mention any food. 18th chapter, you can read those verses yourself. Sattvic, ahara, etc. when it talks about, it does not talk about onion and garlic as being rajasic. It does not mention any food. On the contrary, it says, if you are a sattvic person, you like this type of food. What type of food? Wholesome food, nutritious food. If you are rajasic, you like food which is spicy, etc., etc. It doesn't say onion garlic. It doesn't mention. Don't blame me. That's what the Gita says. Okay. There are verses which you will see when I come to that topic. It will take some time because it's the 18th chapter. So Gita does not mention any food by any food group. Proteins, carbs, etc. It does not mention. That is not the job of the Gita. If you want to look into those things, look into Ayurveda. We have been every year having Vedic Wisdom Festival. Okay. So in the Vedic Wisdom Festival last 2-3 years, we have got an Ayurveda Acharya to speak on it. For it is there in our website, Vedic Wisdom Festival. Please go and hear him out. Okay? Dr. Parthasarthi. Then Ayurveda Acharya. His talks, recordings are put up if you want to get an insight into food. Food according to body type, food according to the seasons, everything. But the Gita does not. It is not the subject matter of the Gita to talk about food. You can't make spirituality and the Gita a matter of the kitchen. Gita has got better things to do than that. So if you think it talks about that, sorry to disappoint you guys. It doesn't talk. It talks about other things. It talks about a lot of stuff. Yes. It talks about duty, but it's not only about duty. Duty is a base from where it goes off to moksha. So, another thing. Karma Yoga, very, very beautiful topic. Work without expecting results. If any of you believe it, please come and work for my organization. We are very short of people and money. Work, I won't pay you anything because you're not expecting results anyway. Karma Yoga is not volunteer work. Karma Yoga is much more than that. Karma Yoga is a phenomenal tool for people's growth at any age. At any age. From 8 to 80. So these are some of the common myths that are there. If you want me to handle any myth before I go into the text, tell me, I will do that. If any of you have any myths in mind, any wrong thinking in mind. Yeah?
Non-veg, veg also comes under this. Veg and non-veg.
Nope, it doesn't talk about it. Someone is saying, is Gita a guide for proper living? Gita is much more than a guide for proper living. A guide for proper living will have some few do's and don'ts. Right, good sleep, nutritious food, adequate exercising, focus on your job, focus on your family. Do you need the Gita to say all these things? Or do you not have your common sense to come to these conclusions? Common sense will tell you, I have to spend time with family. I can't be working 15 hours every day. We know that. Do you need Narayana Murthy come and tell you work 15 hours every day? You should ask his children how they felt about it. Ask his wife. She has openly said her some things. Yeah. So that is not what the Gita is telling you. Yeah, that's not what the Gita is telling. Yes, Gita talks certain things about life. What is healthy living, Gita talks about, but not in terms of do's and don'ts. Gita talks in terms of getting in touch with your priority as a base for taking off into Karma Yoga. So if you all think it's working without expecting results, forget it. And if you still think that, come and work for me, I will make you slog. Right? Because so much of things to be done. We are putting up a whole retreat center outside Bombay. It's a lot of work. Honestly, I'm not joking. It's a lot of work. And you are working without expecting results. So you can do it free. Na? I can't afford to pay. I run around myself. And we have a few volunteers who do that. So, but we pay our architects, we pay our engineers, all that we do. But we fundraise. That's how we do it. We don't exploit them. We are not exploitative people. So, Karma Yoga is different. Sannyasa is different. All this the Gita deals with it, but differently. Yeah. It's important to see that. It's very important to see what the Gita is dealing with. And these myths, they are only myths, they are not true. Is there any person on earth who can work without expecting results? Apart from some voluntary, something I do. I work for an NGO free of cost because I am retired now. You are retired, why are you working? I need some productive activity. So that is your desire. You are getting productive activity. If the NGO was not productive, you will not work. If the NGO says, yes, come volunteer for us. And come sit down. Whole day you are sitting down doing nothing. After 1 week, will you go there? You will not even go there. Nobody is even talking to you. Nothing productive, you will not go there. No, I am doing because I expect the whole area to develop. Good, that's your expectation. So there is no work without expectation. It's foolish. The only difference is a smart person will have smart expectations. A foolish person will have foolish expectations. Expectations are there. Karma Yoga is there because people have desires. If people did not have desires, Karma Yoga will not be there. Desire is not a problem. Only human beings can desire. Does a cow get up in the morning? Holy cow, mother cow, sacred for all of us Hindus. Does a cow get up in the morning and decide, for breakfast, shall I have a cutlet? Or idlis? Or grass? Can the cow have a desire like that? Or a freedom of choice? You as a human being can have. So desire is an ability given to you. Why are you looking down upon that? A cow can't desire. Yeah, you can desire. Hey, so I've been eating idlis all day. Today I want something different. You can have a desire like that. And if you are South Indian, your mom will tell you, is idlis or today also. You better eat what is there. So, desire is it's God-given freedom for a human being. Why are you making a problem out of it? But we do. That is the issue. Desire is not a problem. We make a problem out of that desire. And that is the problem. So how to deal with that is Karma Yoga. Not working without expecting. No. Working with the desire and how to deal with it. That's Karma Yoga. And that's beautiful. Because I have not seen a single person from 8 to 80 who does not have desires. Some 80 also people have desires. Of course they have. Ask an 80-year-old. You have been lonely after your partner died, after your wife died, you have been lonely. Why don't you get married again? What do you think he'll tell you?
Who will marry me?
Who will give me a girl? I have tried this out with some people. Who will give me a girl? That means the desire is there, but he has given up hope of getting somebody. Of course, I also met a person. Before me, he was taking the classes in Shankaramatam. Then he expired, and after that, I started taking classes. I'm talking about 85, I started taking classes in Shankaramatam, long time back. So before that, he was there. So he went to meet the Kanchi Acharya. In that Swamiji, I used to do all the Agnihotram, this, that, all that I used to do. And all that you can do only if you have a wife with you, okay, partner. Grahapati, Agni, etc. You can do only if you have a partner. He said, why did you stop? He said, I am a widower now. So why don't you get married again? And you know what he told the Acharya? Kalam atitam. Time for all that is gone. Now for me, Vedanta is what I want. Time is gone of all that thing. There's a ritualistic life. Why? Because now, or at any stage in your life, what you are after, really speaking, is moksha. Now many of us think moksha is death. No. This is the main thing in the Gita. I will show with the connection of the verses, but I want to introduce this topic before I go into the verses. All of us are human beings. We take ourselves to be, I am like this only. What to do, I am like this only sometimes. We have a self-opinion and a self-judgment. Why? Because we are self-conscious, self-awareful beings. We are aware. There's no problem. I am good in certain things, I am bad in certain things. Certain things I am very interested in, certain things I am not. All this we are aware of. Self-aware, but we don't really know who we are. That I am there, I am aware. May phone who? Not very sure. That's why there is a talk. Supposing I put an ad in the paper and say, Swami Brahmavidananda is talking on who am I? I'll get a couple of hundred sitting in front of me. And supposing I start the talk like this. Why have you come to hear who am I from me? I don't know who you are. I have not met most of you. I don't even know your names. You are thinking, Swamiji is humorous. But why have they come? Because everyone knows there is more to me than what I know. Subconsciously we are aware of this. Even if you have courses in developing self-awareness, this, that, etc., which nowadays all these things are available. It's only with respect to your mind and your body, nothing more than that. And therefore I have taken myself, I am this much, I am a human being. Because this form is human. We are Homo sapiens. Actually, we are the 23rd variety of apes. We are not evolved from apes, okay? If we have evolved from apes, the apes would have gone extinct. The apes and us have both evolved from a common ancestor who is no more there. And recently I read an article where Indians have the most primitive DNAs. Neanderthal DNAs we have in very high quantity compared to other populations and other parts of the world. That means we are more continuous here than the others anywhere in the world. That apart, what I am trying to say is, I am a human being. Fine. That means what? I suffer from the problem of finitude. Like some people have messaged me. Swamiji, I wish I could have been there for the live class, but I'm having some guests coming a bit later. I cannot make it physically. They wish they were here, but they couldn't. You can't be at two places at one time. You are conditioned by time and space, by your physicality. Yeah, I had a heavy martial art practice today. How would I like one body, you send it here to take the class, other body you will be sleeping at home. Not possible. Not possible. One body go out with friends, one body will go for the class, one body will be doing something else. We don't have multiple bodies, we just want this much only. So you have a sense of finitude. But that's human. Yeah, that's human. What does it cause? Because of the sense of finitude, we are isolated. We are unique. Yes. Because you are unique, you are also isolated. Friends, family, etc. are bridges across this isolation. But you can be right in the midst of your family and friends and feel isolated because they don't understand what you want. As simple as that. They all love you, correct. But they don't understand you. You feel isolated. You feel lonely. That's why they'll say communication is the key. But sometimes in spite of your communication, they don't understand you. Or they don't want to understand you. Then what? What do? You feel lonely. Forget the loneliness because the children are abroad and things like that. Forget all that. I'm saying right when the kids are there. All your dreams and hopes for the kid, and the kid wants to be something different. You're feeling let down. Isolated. You feel purposeless in life. All that you do, where does it land up? Tell me. Where does it land up? Finally. Does it last? Does anything that you create last beyond a point? I remember reading this poem when I was in school. This traveler comes to a huge statue. The statue is broken and gone. Only the feet are there. Now the feet of the statue can be seen. And the plaque below saying, I am Osmandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Because you'll never be able to achieve what I achieved. And the traveler says, I looked all around and all that I saw was sand and sand and sand. What happened to all the mighty works? Gone. If that is the case of a great king, what about you and me? Kya ho jayega? This, I know this person, it's a true story, okay? I won't mention names. This guy's got two sons, one daughter. He came into Bombay like some of us did, or our parents did, from south to look for a fortune in a new city, in a developing city. And he made it. He got one flat each for all his 3 kids. For a middle class working man, big achievement. No? 3 flats, one he is staying in, and 3 more flats. 4 flats altogether. Wow, that's great achievement for a working man in Bombay. And he comes to me and talks to me. Says, how are your kids doing? What to tell you, Swamiji? All my kids are abroad, they are doing well, they don't want anything to do with these flats. They don't want anything to do with this property. What have I struggled and built all this for? Correct? So I said, sell off all the flats, put the money in the bank, enjoy yourself. Whatever is left, let them take if they want. Or give it away in charity. Because the guy is feeling upset. My kids are rejecting what I have made. But they have their life. What do you think my father felt when I walked off to become a sadhu? You think he felt great about it? He felt miserable. It took me a lot to convince him afterwards. Yeah, it's a fact. Because each one has their own life. You think our fathers, our grandfathers were happy when their children came to Bombay? They were proud to say, my son is in Bombay and my old age will come back to my village. Nobody has gone back. 50 years you lived in Bombay, where are you going to feel comfortable in the village after that? Fact, no? You will go and visit them and come back. That much you will do, because every few months you can go spend some time and come. That's the maximum. But from States, can everyone come every few months? Once a year is a big thing. Purposeless. All that you have achieved for them is worth nothing for you. Them it doesn't mean anything. You feel purposeless. Isolated. Lonely. Nobody understands me is a complaint I get all over the world. Wherever I go, somebody or the other will tell me this. It's true. Nobody will understand you completely. Not even your most beloved. People will love you, but nobody will love you unconditionally. We all want unconditional love. If love is healthy, I am happy with that. If love is not obsessive, I am happy with that. But we are not. We can't love unconditionally. It takes a huge amount of spiritual growth to do that. There's only one person in the world who can love you unconditionally. You know who? Guess. Make a guess. Who can love you unconditionally? The mother. Big myth. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. Big myth. Mothers don't love you unconditionally. That's a statement made so that you will be healed. They'll always tell you, I have nothing against the mothers, please. I am only holding up a mirror to see the society. For 9 months I carried you in my womb. Did I ask you to carry me? A child will turn around and ask you that sometime. Ask what? For me it is a prison for 9 months. Think of it from the fetus angle. It's a prison. No layer, no air, no sunlight. Floating in an amniotic fluid. Giving pain here. Only your pet dog will love you unconditionally, okay? Nobody else will love you unconditionally. This is that mother's love is mother's love a great deal. The mother's love is the closest that will come. I accept that. Lot of it is phenomenal amount of sacrifice, etc. goes in being a mother. I respect that. Okay, I respect that. And not that I don't respect that, but don't give me this myth of unconditional love. That's being created by all the media images, Hindi films. Remember that famous art time movies? Yeah, most of the art time. मेरे पास बंगला है, गाड़ी है, क्या है? आपके पास क्या है? मेरे पास माँ हूँ. Mama's boy. Idiot. Myth. It's a myth that is created. It's happening because people are looking for unconditional love. And they remember as a baby you got unconditional love. But mothers have come and told me, Swamiji, there is something wrong with me. What is wrong with you? You are a great mom. What's wrong? I feel like tearing my hair. I feel like running away. I said, natural. It is frustrating to bring up a baby. I understand that. I have brought up 2 pairs of nephews and nieces, so I have some insight into what happens in a mother's mind. It's not easy. If it is so great, why are women having postpartum depression? If it is that unconditional. And it's not only now, with our grandmother's age also they had this problem. Because your life is topsy-turvy once you have a child. People are mothers here, ask them. People will come and give good advice. Sleep when the baby sleep. Get up when the baby gets. But when does the baby sleep? Oh, baby is asleep. Just let me go to the bathroom, come, and then I will take care of it. I'll catch a nap. By the time you're gone, finish something and come back, the baby is awake. I know, I dealt with babies. So, in all this, most mothers are disappointed with their kids. I did so much for them. I seen people coming and telling me this. And what did he do to you? He picked up his own girl. I should have picked up the bride for him. Yeah, Narayana, अभी क्या बोलेगा? Amma, he has to live with that girl, not you. All this makes me isolated, lonely. These are what we call as existential issues. They need to be loved. In short, they need to be a fulfilled person. My cup of joy is full. There are moments when we feel like this, but moments when we get something we want. Great. How long? How long? Until the next desire comes up, isn't it? Reminds me, I went to Rishikesh last year. Okay? Last year, sometimes they take camps there. And I went. So one of my students is married and settled down in Dehradun. Mussoorie actually. Just above Dehradun. From Rishikesh to Dehradun is 30 kilometers. Another 30 kilometers, you reach Mussoorie. It's a 2-hour drive. So when they heard I was there, they came down to meet me. So afternoon lunch they had in the ashram. Evening, I said, come. No, Swamiji, we want to take you out. Give you nice North Indian food. I said, fine. So we went out. And there are the 2 kids with them also. So we had a good meal. You know how kids can eat a good meal. We are limited, but the kids can really hog. So after that, the father is asking the child, you eaten enough, no? बराबर खाया है ना? अभी भूख लगता है नहीं बोलेगा ना? You won't tell me that you're hungry, no? नहीं, daddy. I am full. I will not talk about food for another 1 hour. This is exactly how we are. You're happy, full, everything is until how long? This lack of fulfillment is common, universal. And we came out of the hotel, and there's an ice cream parlor. And the father asked again, ice cream khayega? Haan. 1 hour? It didn't last a few minutes. We are the same. How many times have we prayed to the Lord, Lord, give me this, I will not ask you for anything else. What has happened? Look back into your lives. Lack of fulfillment is natural. No, natural is common. If it is natural, you will not struggle against it. If it is natural, you will not reject it. You are rejecting it. Why? Because you want to be a fulfilled being. You want to be full, complete, anandoham. This is what you want to be. Whether I am 8 or 80, as I say, this is what I really want to be. I want to be a fulfilled being, free from my sense of limitations, free from mortality, from the idea of birth and death. Why birth and death is used? Birth and death is used because there is total helplessness in your birth and your death. Nobody can decide when they will die. If your prarabdha is strong, even if you try to commit suicide, it won't work. You will survive. Like it happened to someone whom I know. He took some poison and he went to sleep. He got up, he saw a beautiful face and oh my God, am I in heaven? Have I died and gone? And that beautiful face spoke. You're in Sion Hospital, I am the nurse here. The poison didn't work. enough to put you off. The prarabdha is strong. Somebody found him before the poison could take his full this thing and flushed him out. Simple as that. So we want to be free from this notion of birth and death. We are helpless. Free from a sense of helplessness. Here what happened in West Bengal. All the women, how they were treated, our blood boils, but we are helpless. What can we do sitting here? Yeah, your blood boils, okay. Sense of helplessness, sense of frustration, sense of purposelessness. Freedom from all this is called moksha. Moksha is not an outside job after death. It's here. It's here. That is the message of the Gita. That is the message the Gita is giving. So if you are keen on that, and I don't see a single person not keen. They may say, I don't have the time for it because other things have made them busy. But if this is what you are after, you're at the right place. Because the Gita gives you that. This is the message, this is the problem the Gita is solving, your fundamental problem. Because problems can be of two types. One is a topical problem, a day-to-day problem. Water shortage in Bangalore. It's a topical issue. Something can be done about it. Long term. Short term also something can be done. Long term also something. It's the thing human beings, you and I can solve it. Those are day-to-day problems. One big problem in Bombay. Maid didn't turn up. Big issue, no? Topical problems. Maids rule Bombay. That's why I'm giving the example. Really, maids rule Bombay. Nobody else rules Bombay. I've seen people bunking class because maid has not come. When I used to do corporate workshops, HR managers would say, Swamiji, 2 people are not turned up today because maids have not come. They are young mothers. Young mothers, they can understand. Maid doesn't turn up means who will look after the kid? Topical problem for which a solution exists. It's a topical day-to-day issue. And there are fundamental issues as you as a human being. Like, let us say this person, his friend died early. Nowadays you hear a lot of people dying out of at 50s and 60s. Even 40s people are dying. Sudden heart attack, etc. Not yet found out what it is. A lot of conspiracy theorists are saying it is because of the vaccine and all that thing. RNA vaccines. Don't worry, Covishield is not an RNA vaccine that most of us have taken. The Pfizer vaccine was that. Anyway, this person died. And his friend went there, help make all the arrangements, this, that. This is a topical problem because there is an issue to be taken care of. The doctor's certificate, the medical certificate, the booking of the funeral place. Then his young son is lighting the fire. This man is sitting back, watching. And as the smoke is rising, he is thinking, where does this man come from? He had so many hopes and ambitions in life. Kya hoya? What happens to all of them? Where did he come from? Where is he going? This is an empty shell we are burning here. Now look at it. It is no more a day-to-day issue. These are certain fundamental issues. So the issue of loneliness, isolation, etc. are fundamental to every human being. Job, career, children, etc. are day-to-day issues. Day-to-day solutions you can find on your own. God has given you a good head inside. Good head with things inside. You can find out yourself. You talk to a few people. You can handle it. You are competent enough to handle it. Sometimes you may need a helping hand from a counselor or a guru or something. That's okay. That's part of the game. You don't have to struggle in silence. You can get a helping hand. But what about the fundamental issue? Who am I? Where did I come? Where am I going? What's going to happen after death? Is there something that survives death? Or is death be all and end all of everything? Why have I come? What is my purpose in life? I come, I lived, I have grown, but these issues are fundamental. And this is exactly what the Gita is dealing with. My fundamental issues. Because any day-to-day issue can trigger off your thinking into fundamental issues. COVID raised a lot of fundamental issues. People rearrange some lives because of that. But they're still not gone to the fundamental issue completely. They only made some rearrangement. No, I can't work like this. I need to spend time with family also. They realize that health is more important than the money I make. COVID gave a reset to life in certain areas. That was good. But not enough to handle your fundamental issue anyway. That still people are not taught enough about. Some have, but not enough. Yeah, some have, but not enough. And this created some type of other issues also. Why? People want everything sitting at home. There are 4 times the issue, 4 times the number of people online than present here. And I started this class because people said they wanted a physical class. Anyway, if I don't get enough people, I'll close down the class and make it only online. So what I'm trying to say is people are not taught enough about the fundamental issues. And the Gita is dealing with that. Basic fundamental issues of life. One issue, that you are not an isolated, wanting human being. You're free from all this. In the vision of the Gita, I am free from all this. I am a fulfilled being, Ananda Swarupa. Nothing but Ananda. In my vision of myself, I am nothing like that. Kabhi Khushi, Kabhi Gam. Sometimes okay, sometimes I am miserable. So now, there is a mismatch of vision. What the Gita says I am and what I think I am. Whether the Gita or the Upanishad, all of them see you as complete, fulfilled human beings. I see yourself as Ananda Swarupa, otherwise I will not be able to teach. Guaranteed. If I can't see you as Ananda, how am I going to tell you your Ananda and how am I going to help you discover your Ananda? Not possible. Why? This is not my personal opinion. This is the vision of the Gita that has come into my head. The vision of the Gita. And I made it my own. So now here is the vision, I can help you all discover it. So those of us who are here, whether it's online or offline, if you are in Chambur, I'll encourage you all to be offline, okay? Because there is a certain energy that is there in an offline class that you will never get in an online class. If you are out of town, of course, you can't help it. I am glad you are being online. So this journey that we are going to have is a beautiful journey in terms of self-discovery. It will take some time, but it's only once a week, and you will have gained enough by the end of the Gita to live that life, to make it your own. It's important to own up this knowledge and make it my own. So who is qualified to study the Gita? Basic qualification, are you a human being who wants fulfillment? Other qualification we'll see later. Basic qualification is what? Are you a human being? Do you want fulfillment in life? Yes. Join the gang. Join the gang. That's all it takes. Swamiji, is it that simple? Yes, it is simple. You mean to say just by sitting in a class? Yes. Why? I seek myself because I am ignorant of what I really am. And any knowledge, whether it is worldly knowledge or spiritual knowledge, requires a means of knowledge. What am I holding in my hand? A pen. How do you know it's a pen? Perception tells you. Yeah, perception tells you, isn't it? So, for knowledge of this, you need a means of knowledge. Listen. ACs are working, right? How do you know? Inference the sound. You can't see the AC working. AC is in the back behind you. But there is a sound, there is a hum. And you're feeling pleasant. You infer the AC must be on. Inference. Like this, we have various means of knowledge to know what we are, to know the world. Because without knowing, how do you deal with the world? You need some idea, some opinion. If not knowledge, an opinion. Opinion does not depend on a means of knowledge, a pramana. A means of knowledge is called a pramana. Now the Gita and Upanishad, etc., are pramana to know yourself. Little bit about pramana also before I get into the Gita. It is called Shabda Pramanam. See, we have perception, inference, presumption. There's deductive logic in English. Then comparative studies, Upamanam. We have how do you know things are not there? Yeah, last week you saw a couple helping me. That lady was in. Is she there today? How do you know?
I don't see.
Absence.
Huh?
Absence.
She's absent. How do you know she's absent? You can't see her because to see her, light has to be reflected.
Interpretation.
Huh?
Interpreting that she's not there.
It is called Anupalabdhi in Sanskrit. How do you cognize things which are not there? With that person in mind, you look around. Nahi hai. It is different from perception. For perception, light has to be reflected. Anupalabdhi it is called. If you want more detailed understanding of Pramanas, go to my YouTube channel, Arshavidya Foundation YouTube channel. I have something called Epistemology Simplified. There are 6 videos on this. Okay, 1 to 6, 5 videos on this. Okay, Epistemology Simplified. But that's technical. Here I will cover everything that you all need to know. So, now what about things I can't figure out? My eyes, ears, etc., inference, etc., can't figure out. The Veda comes into the picture. The Veda is supposed to tell me what I can't figure out.
What?
I can't figure out. So the Veda will not be scientific, because science is what I can figure out. So all those who think Gita, Veda, etc. is scientific, sorry. If it was scientific, I will be able to figure out. So the Veda is supposed to come and tell me what I can't figure out. Is there karma phala? I don't know. There is some sort of, the Veda tells me about it. The Gita tells me about it. I don't have logic to prove, or I don't have logic to disprove. Is there a heaven? I don't know. Supposing the Veda tells me there is a heaven. I don't have logic to prove it. I don't have logic to disprove it also. How can I disprove heaven? Now supposing the religious book comes and tells me there is a heaven. You will go there after death. Okay. How will I go there? All the good things that you have done. Okay? Understandable? And you live there eternally. That's illogical. Why? The good that I have done is limited. How can I live there forever? So that is not logical. But heaven is beyond logic. But what you are telling me about heaven is within logic because it's illogical. What is illogical is within logic. So eternal heaven doesn't exist. Heaven exists. Like our Ask Shastra says it. You did a lot of good things. After that, take a holiday. You suffered enough. Both kiya. You sacrificed enough. Go, have a good break. And after that come back here. To pick up the thread again. So rebirth. There is some supporting logic. But proving logic is the Veda. Now these are not verifiable. There are some other rituals which are verifiable. Like a few years back there was a lot shortage of rain. So we did this, in south we did this yaga called the Kariri. And rains came that day. Verifiable result. In fact, the priest has to put his life on the line when you do that yaga. Why? The last act of the yaga is setting the whole Yagnashala on fire. And the priest is sitting inside. Nobody else is inside, only the priest. At the most, the Yajamana is also allowed to sit inside. The rains have to come and put it off. Otherwise, you will die there. You put your life where your mouth is. And it came verifiable. Some things are verifiable, some things are not verifiable. So the same Veda, the Upanishad, the Gita, comes and tells you who you are. Totally verifiable because I am there now. Main hu. Do you need a pramana to know who you are? To know that you exist or not? Do you need a pramana? You exist. How do you tell me you exist? I just know. Correct? Do you need any? Prove your existence to me. No. You're talking to me, you idiot. That can be a foolish question in a philosophy paper. Why foolish? Because that's the basic thing in life. If you are there, you can ask something else. If you are not there, what can you talk about? A French philosopher said, I think, therefore I am. So I looked at that and said, I am, therefore I doubt that statement. Because when I don't think also, I am there. No? In between two thoughts, I am not there. But I am not there, I am there. That's why I can connect all the thoughts together. So this self-knowledge that you are Ananda, verifiable. You can validate it in your own life. Every one of us has to validate that knowledge. And you can validate that knowledge. Generations of students have done it in India. And now abroad also. Generations have done it. Yeah, I have people from abroad sitting in my class here today. Online. From as diverse as Australia and UK and everything. Can do it right in this lifetime. That is the message of the Gita. That is what Gita is talking about. So we are after a big thing. We are not after something small in life. How to do this, how to do that, how to manage my life. Small things. Go, read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You will manage your life very well. I'm not joking. It's a good book. I quote him often. Why? Because he has acknowledged 2 translations of the Gita in his bibliography. Covey I'm talking about, Stephen Covey. So managing life. We are not managing life. We are getting free from the issues of life itself. Big thing this is. Big thing. So what does it call out of you? Your presence. What are you doing right now except listening to me? Everything else I am doing, isn't it? Everything is done by me. And that's how it is, always is. My teacher taught and I just listened and I listened and I listened. Totally I was there. I let my mind go along with his words. In the end of it, I was transformed. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to know in this. And a few things I'll tell you how to manage your mind if your mind is going haywire. Few things I'll tell you, I'll teach you here, little bit about meditation, etc., to quieten your mind, or make this knowledge yours. Those few things I will tell you. Just nothing new happens in meditation. You're owning up the knowledge in meditation. So how to do that, etc., as part of the Gita itself will come. And the end of it, you can walk away free. You can, I'm not joking. Yeah, you can. Can happen. One lifetime, more than enough. So I said, let me clear up about these myths and misconceptions about the Gita in this class before I go into the text. So I'll of course put up the recordings, and next class we will go into the details of things. Okay? Details of the verses, etc. So good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.